Hey everyone, Mayank here, your GMAT tutor, and today we are going to start one interesting topic, that is speed, time, and distance. And questions from this are frequently asked in the GMAT examination, and often they are considered as tough because of the word problems. So speed, time, and distance. Here, the three major formulas you need to remember here is speed equals to distance over time, which is eventually distance equals to speed over time. So this is the very first formula we are going to study here. Also, this speed thing, you can also take it as rate. So rate is also a speed, but it could be anything per anything. So in a word problem, if you see the word per, you know this is a question involving rates. So we can also treat this rate as average rate. So average rate can be find out by the formula average rate equals to total distance over total time. Or you can say total anything per total anything. Okay. So distance is equals to speed into time. Okay. Now you already done these things in your grades. Whether you need to convert meter per second to kilometer per hour. So you need to multiply this thing by 18 by 5. And if you want to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, you need to do the reverse. So speed times 5 by 80, whatever speed is given. And if you need to change it into meter per second, you need to multiply it with 5 by 80. So here are some questions to start with. So a driver drove for 10 hours at the average rate of 53 miles per hour. To get from Memphis to Chicago, how far was it from Memphis to Chicago? So here, 10 hours. So 10 hours is the time given at the average rate of 53 miles per hour. So we can take the time as 10 hours and the speed is given as 53 miles per hour. So now you already know that the how far it was it from Memphis to Chicago. So basically we need to find the distance here. So distance, the formula is simply speed into time. So that is 53 into 10, that is 530 miles. So we don't want to waste much time over here. So these questions are quite direct and you need to directly apply these formulas in order to find the answer. So now the next question, a plane traveled 328 miles from the Limestone to Lincoln in 2 hours. What was the plane's average rate of speed? So now in this question, traveled the 328 miles. So this 328 miles is the distance given and Limestone to Lincoln in 2 hours. So the time is also given as 2 hours. So in order to find, we have to find the average rate of speed. So in order to find the average rate of speed, you need the formula speed equals to distance over time. So distance is given as 328 and the time is given as 2. So the speed is 168 miles per hour. For the third part, a boat traveled 120 miles from Wabash to Wilson at the rate of 60 miles per hour. How long did the boat trip take? So for this, the distance is given as 120 miles and the time we need to find and the speed is given as 60 miles per hour. So our formula for time here becomes t equals to distance over rate or speed. So distance is given as 120 and rate is given as 60. So our answer will be 2 hours. So these are very general questions to start with. Though they are easy, we need to practice them. Now let's move on to some other questions. Now concept one, average speed. So average speed, there might be two cases of average speed, same path or different path. Same path simply means whenever a person goes to some place and return back along the same path. So that thing is covered into this same path criteria. Together, like if some person is traveling three different locations at three different speeds, so that case will be taken as different path criteria. So we have two different formulas for this. The first formula for same path is 2xy over x plus y. For different path, we can take the formula as a plus b plus c over a by x plus b by y plus c by z. So here, this xy simply means the speed, and this abc here represents the distance. Also, you can take it as the speeds as x, y, and z. Okay, so now in the first case, same path, we have the formula 2xy over x plus y. So here, basically, when two speeds are given, this formula is valid. Let's say we have three speeds given, three speeds x, y, and z along the same path. So in order to find the average speed, we will use the formula as 3xyz over xy plus yz plus zx. So this is the case when we have given like three speeds, and in order to find the average speed along the same path, then we are going to use the formula 3xyz over xy plus yz plus zx. Now let's solve some questions. Question number one. A boy goes to school from home at the speed of 10 km per hour and return back at the speed of 30 km per hour. So find the average speed. So as you can see, this is the case of same path, as the boy goes to school from home and return back at the same path. So in order to find the average speed, the average speed will be, the formula we are going to use here is the first one, 2xy over x plus y. So 2 into 10 into 30 over 10 plus 30. So this becomes 600 over 40. So that is nothing but 15. So the average speed becomes 16 km per hour. So as you can see, generally we try to find the average of something as we need to like add all the different values and divide it by the total number of values. But here the case is the distance is not the same. The distance is getting doubled. The boy goes to school from home and returns back at the same speed. So that is why we are considering this formula. Fine. The next question is, if a man covers 10 km at 5 km per hour, 30 km at 7 km per hour, and 20 km at 15 km per hour, find the average speed. So this second question is the case of different path. So the man is covering the distance, three different distances at some speeds. So we have to consider this as a case of different path. So the formula in order to find the average speed is a plus b plus c over a over x plus b over y plus c over z. So we can plug in the values directly here and we will get the answer. So we have to write 10 plus 30 plus 20 over 10 by 5 plus 30 by 7 plus 20 by 15. So if you solve this further, your answer will come as 7.88 kilometer per hour. So this is the concept of like same path and different path. So concept two, if two persons P and Q start at the same time in different directions from 2 points, and after passing each other, they complete their journey in A and B hours, then their ratio of speed of P to Q is given as root A is to root P. So A and B here are the hours, and the ratio of speed is given P and Q. So if you like this, like to solve question number 3, you will eventually get the formula. So this formula is nothing like we have derived it from somewhere else. It is directly like if we are solving a particular question based on this. So while solving a multiple questions of the same kind, what we did, we changed the working into a simpler derived formula. That's it. So the question number 3 is, if P starts cycling from Delhi to Ghaziabad and at the same time Q starts cycling from Ghaziabad to Delhi, after passing each, they complete their journey in 4 and 16 hours respectively. If P speed is 18 kilometer per hour, we have to find the speed of Q. So even if you like use this formula P to Q, the ratio of P to Q, so we will get the answer. So this becomes 18 over x. We can take the speed of Q as x equals to root of B, that is 16. B is 16 here and A is 4. So if we solve this, the value of x will come out as 9 kilometer per hour. So in like quants, we are not getting any formula from somewhere else. We are simply just solving a multiple questions, and we like follow the pattern and change it into a formula, a simple shorter formula. So the basic thing we are trying to do here is we are like trying to reduce the time it takes to solve any particular problem. So either you understand the concept, or if you understand the concept fully, then you can easily use the formula and you will get the answer much faster. So concept 3. So concept 3, here we have some relations. So in concept 3, if speed is constant, then distance is proportional to time. And if time is constant, then distance is proportional to speed. You have to remember here. So whenever distance is constant, speed is proportional to the inverse of time. As you can see, the formula for speed is distance over time. So as you can see, they are saying that this distance value is constant, it is not changing. So you can directly take it as 1 by t. So this value becomes inversely proportional to time. And else, if time is constant, distance is directly proportional to speed. And if speed is constant, then distance is directly proportional to time. So you have to remember this thing. So on the basis of this, we have a question. If a person covers a distance with a speed of 54 kilometer per hour in 15 minutes, if we want to cover the same distance in 30 minutes, what should be his speed? So very simple question. So first of all, the person is covering the distance with a speed of 54 kilometer per hour in 15 minutes. So first of all, we need to change this minute time into hours. So we can divide this thing into by 60. So that will get changed into hours. So here the time is 15 by 60 hours, and the speed is 54 kilometers. So from this, we can find the distance. So distance is equals to speed into time. So we can take 54 into 15 by 60, that is 27 over 2 kilometer. So now what they're saying, if you want to cover the same distance in 30 minutes, what should be his speed? So here, same again, we have to like change this thing. The time is now given as 30 minutes. So again, we will change it into hours. So 30 minutes, we can write it as 1 by 2 hours. So as you can see, the distance is like same. So the speed is inversely proportional to time. So what we will do, we will write the speed here. The speed is directly proportional to 1 by time. So this implies 27 over 2 divided by 1 over 2. So that will be 27 kilometer per hour. So that will be our speed. So concept 4, if a train passes a pole or any object, the distance covered by the train is equal to the length of the train. Fine. So if a train passes a pole or any other object, the distance covered by the train is equal to the length of the train. Second concept that we have is, if a train passes through a bridge, platform, etc., then the distance traveled by the train is equal to the sum of the length of the train and the stationary object through which the train is passing. So on the basis of these two concepts, we have a question. If a 100-meter long train passes a platform of 200-meter long, find the distance covered by the train in passing the platform. So as you can see, the train is 100-meter long and the platform is 200-meter long. So we can apply the concept here. The distance covered by the train will be the length of the train plus the length of the platform. So 100 plus 200, that is equals to 300 meter. The next concept that we have is of you can take it as a relative speed thing. So concept 5 tells us that if when two trains are moving in opposite direction, then their relative speed is equal to the sum of speed of both the trains. And when they are traveling in opposite directions, then their relative speed is equal to the difference of speed of both trains. So what is relative speed? Relative speed is like speed of an object or observer with respect to the other reference object. Concept 6 is, when two trains start at the same time from P and Q and proceed towards each other at the rate of x kilometer per hour and y kilometer per hour. So when the two trains start at the same time from P and Q and proceed towards each other, so basically here we can say that they are opposite in direction. So when they are approaching towards each other at a speed of x kilometer per hour and y kilometer per hour, then it is found that one train has traveled d kilometer more than the other. So we can take this thing as, if two trains starts from P and Q, so you can say that the distance traveled by the one train starting from the P is somewhat more d kilometer more than the distance traveled by the train that has started from point Q. So the distance of between P and Q. Now we have to find the distance between P and Q, that is PQ. So in order to find the distance between P and Q, the formula will be x plus y over x minus y into the distance d. Whatever more distance is given in the question, you need to multiply it, and the formula is simple: sum of speeds over difference of speeds multiplied by the distance, the more distance that is given in the question. So based on this, we have a question: two trains start at the same time from Amritsar and Delhi and proceed towards each other at the rate of 74 km per hour and 47 km per hour respectively. So it is found that when they meet, one train travel 13 km more than the other. Find the distance between Amritsar and Delhi. So again, we are going to apply the same formula. So it will be like 74 plus 47 over 74 minus 47 into D. D is given as 13. So this becomes 1111 and this becomes 27 into 13. So if you simplify this, the answer will be somewhat around 56.3 kilometer. So either you solve it like more conventionally by taking x and y variables and then solve it. So that will consume time. So in order to like uh, save our time, we have reduced the same thing into this form. So if you solve like this question conventionally, eventually in the last step, our equation will reduce to this. So it's better to stick to the shorter formulas and find the answers. Okay. Now next question is a very general question where, and this type of uh, question is often seen in the examination. So question number 7 says that Sally left her home at 11 a.m. So Sally left her home at 11 a.m. traveling alone, traveling along Route 1 at 30 miles per hour. At 1 p.m., her brother Tom left home and started after her on the same road going 45 miles per hour. At what time did Tom catch up to Sally? So the thing you have to remember here is that her brother Tom left home at 1 p.m. and Sally left her home at 11 a.m. So we can reduce this thing into a like diagram or a route diagram, you can say. So let's say Sally. Sally, the distance covered by Sally is given by this. So the speed of Sally is given as 30 miles per hour. So we can take the distance covered by Sally as d1. So d1 we can write it as the speed is given. So you already know distance is equal to speed into time. So d1 equals to 30 into t. Let's take the time as t. Now for the same case, this her brother Tom. So for Tom, we have to like again draw the same line as the distance is common here. So this becomes Tom speed is given as 45 miles per hour. So and he left 2 hours later than Sally. So the time taken will be for the time taken by Tom will be given as t minus 2, as he has taken 2 hours less than Sally. So when they meet, the Tom will take 2 hours less. So we can write it as d2 equals to speed into time again. So 45 is the speed and time for Tom is d2 minus 2. So now as you can see here, both the distance are already same. So d1 equals to d2. So we can equate these two equations. So 30 into t equals to 45 t minus 2. So once you solve this, your time value will come as 6 hours. So this is 6 hours. So we can say that Sally left her home at 11 a.m. So after 6 hours, Tom will catch up Sally. So 11 plus 6, that is 5 p.m. This is our answer. Don't forget to like change your time. So many times you can like in hurry, you can choose your answer as 6. So don't commit that mistake. The next question that we have here is two 16-wheeler transport trucks are 770 kilometers apart. So we can again draw the diagram. So this distance is given as 770 kilometers. Sitting at two rest stops on the opposite sides of the highway, a driver A begins heading down the highway, driving at the average speed of 90 km per hour. Exactly 1 hour later, driver B starts down the highway towards driver A, maintaining an average of 80 km per hour. How many kilometers farther than driver B will driver A have driven when they meet and pass each other on the highway? Fine. So the distance between two uh, trucks is given by 770 meters. So as you can see, the two drivers are driving in like opposite direction. So you can say that A starts from here and B again like this. So at this point they will meet. So the speed of this A, driver A is given as 90 km per hour and take the time as t. Take the time as t. So the distance covered by A is 90 into t. Again, what they are saying, exactly 1 hour later, the driver B has started his journey. So we can say that the driver B has taken 1 hour less than driver A. So we can write it as the distance will be 80 and we can take the time of the second driver as t minus 1. So this becomes 80 into t minus 1. So now as you can see this, these two distances covered by the two drivers are like equals to 770 because the total distance is given as 770. So we can write this thing as d1 plus d2 equals to 770. So this distance, take it as d1, this distance we have taken it as d2. Now we have to directly plug in the values here. So this becomes 90 into t plus 80t minus 1 equals to 770. So now once we simplify this, our time will come as 5 hours. So now time is given. So from this time, we can just find out the distances that the two drivers have covered so far. So 90 into t plus 80 t minus 1 equals to 770. So the t value was coming out as 5 hours. So now the distance d1, we can calculate it as 90 into 5, that is 450. And for d2, we can write it as 80 t minus 1. So this is 80 into 4, that is 320. So as you can see, driver 1 has covered, driver A has covered 450 kilometer and driver B has covered 320 kilometer. So we can subtract in order to check whether by how many kilometer farther the driver A has driven. So the answer will be 450 minus 320, that is equals to 130 kilometer. So driver A has driven 130 kilometer farther than the driver B. So our situation was like this. Take 2 points, A starts from here, B starts from here. So the total distance is given as 770 kilometer. So just take the speed distance that being covered by this driver A as 90 into t and driver 2 as 80 into the time taken will be, it is 1 hour less, so we can take it as t minus 1. So these two distances is to be equals to 770 kilometer upon addition. So once we simplify this like this, we will get the value of t as 5 hours. So after plugging this value of t, we can get the values of the distance covered by A and B respectively. So upon subtraction, we will get that by how much the driver A has driven farther than driver B. That's it. So we will like solve some more questions from this part again. So that's it from my side, and let's meet with some other topic in our next videos. Thank you, everyone.